We're always told that a bigger paycheck is the key to financial freedom. But what if the real secret to lasting wealth isn't about earning more? What if it's about building quiet, powerful systems for the money you already have? It's the classic dream, right? That little voice in your head that says, if I could just earn a bit more, all my problems would just vanish. Come on, let's be honest, we've all thought that at some point. And look, there's a reason this idea is so common. It just feels so logical. It makes sense that more money should automatically mean less worry. But is that really how it plays out in the real world? Well, here's the surprising truth that, honestly, countless people discover the hard way. A bigger salary often just leads to bigger problems. It almost never delivers that peace of mind we're all really chasing. Okay, so if a bigger paycheck isn't the magic fix, then what is? Well, it turns out the real issue we need to solve is something way more fundamental than just the number on our payslip. So let's pull back the curtain and talk about the actual foundation of financial power. And spoiler alert, it has a lot less to do with the numbers you earn and a whole lot more to do with your behavior. The real key is control. It's this simple but incredibly powerful shift from wondering, where on earth did my money go, to telling your money exactly where it needs to go. This right here, this is the true starting point of wealth, and it doesn't matter what your income level is. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to fill a bucket that's full of holes. You can keep pouring more and more water in, that's your bigger income, but if you never bother to plug the holes, that bucket is never ever going to be full. That's exactly what happens to our money without intentional direction. So this all sounds great, but how do we actually get this control? Well, it's not magic. It's a behavioral framework that's built on 5 really simple but powerful principles. So here's our roadmap. It all starts with control, and then we build on that with small disciplines. From there, awareness gives us leverage. Margin creates our options, and then finally, we let systems do all the heavy lifting for us. See how each one builds on the last? First things first, you have got to learn how to direct the money you have right now before you can even think about managing more. This is all about building the habit of intentionality, making it your financial default setting. And this is such a game changer. It's all about the incredible power of small, consistent actions. Seriously, forget about those heroic, once-a-year savings sprints. Real, lasting financial strength is built with tiny, disciplined habits that you just repeat over and over again. Now, this is a really crucial mental shift. When you have no idea where your money is going, it just feels like this constant source of anxiety, right? But the moment you start tracking it, even if you don't change a single thing, it transforms. Suddenly, it's not some big, scary mystery. It's a tool. It's just data that you can use to make smarter decisions. Principle 4 is all about creating margin, that simple, beautiful gap between what you earn and what you spend. We're often taught to see this as deprivation, like we're missing out, but it's the total opposite. Margin is freedom. It's the power to handle an emergency, to jump on an opportunity, and to say no thanks to debt. And this brings us to the final, and I'd argue maybe the most important principle of all. Think about it. Willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired. Motivation, it comes and goes. But a well-designed system? Oh, that just runs on autopilot. It works for you 24/7, quietly doing its thing in the background, long after that initial burst of motivation has worn off. Okay, so that's the theory. Now let's get practical. How do we actually apply these ideas in the real world, like starting today? This is your practical toolkit. You could set up automatic transfers to your savings account for the day you get paid. Use a simple app to find those silent drains, the subscriptions you totally forgot about. And this one's huge. Next time you get a raise, make a plan to save most of it before it just gets absorbed into your lifestyle. So, what do all these things have in common? Well, they move you out of that reactive mode where you're just putting out fires and responding to bills and into an intentional, proactive mindset where you are the one calling the shots. Okay, so let's distill all of this down into a brand new, way more powerful mindset for thinking about your money and your future. Here is the first major takeaway. Your financial habits will always, always be more powerful than your income. It is not about the dollar amount. It's about the discipline you apply to every single one of those dollars. Second, awareness is the antidote to financial anxiety. The stress of not knowing is always worse than the reality. Once you have clarity, you can turn that fear into a real, concrete strategy. And third, Remember this: quiet, automated systems will always be loud, inconsistent effort. Building wealth should feel less like a constant, stressful struggle and more like a quiet hum just running in the background of your life. And if there is one single idea that you take away from all of this, let it be this one: income is just the raw material. Control is the skill that actually turns it into real, lasting wealth. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget about some massive, intimidating overhaul of your whole life. Just ask yourself, what is the one tiny, quiet system you can build today, like in the next 5 minutes, that starts putting you back in control?